I always find it amazing when like a medium, well, it's difficult to put it that way, like a show or a book or a movie is so popular that they can take a character from there and make another show, movie, what have you, and work with it there. And that's what happened with Toy Story. They kind of okay. For those of you who don't remember, Buzz Lightyear had his own show in the movie. That's why Andy wanted him so much. And what Disney did in their genius was make that show a reality. They made an animated show about Buzz Lightyear and Star Command, and I loved that show. It was so much fun for me. You had Buzz. He still had the same personality, only now he was kind of justified because he's like a leader of an actual space corps, and it was just so much fun. I really loved how creative they got with all the aliens and the worlds and like even the rules. You had his giant fanboy. You had the little robot XR and his brother. I loved how like the running gag of how he thought this fun guy was his father, even though he just like signed the form that said it was okay for XR to be made. That's the whole thing. And you had Mira, who was this really awesome alien girl who could like shift through walls and go through people's heads. And the really cool thing was, you found out eventually, was that she came from a society and aliens that thought they were better than everyone else, and they called everything else lesser beings. But Mira herself was like, screw that. I'm gonna go help other people. So I don't want to be a princess anymore because she was a princess. And she stopped being so superior. She saw everyone as equals, and I thought that was really fantastic message. It was like kind of the opposite of Disney. Like instead of like a normal girl becoming a superior by being a princess, this was a princess who did the opposite. She went down to help equals and become inferior, I guess. And of course you had Emperor Zurg, who was now even hammier than ever. Oh my god, he was hilarious. I remember one of my favorite episodes has him continuously pointing to one of his weapons. And every time he does, it comes to the pose and he says, Hyper Death Ray! Every single time. It was hilarious. Hyper Death Ray! Oh god. And his little minions, and of course they came out with brand new villains too, and they were fantastic, like Gravatina, who had this gigantic head, and it was so huge it had like its own gravity, and she had a crush on Buzz, and Buzz had an evil twin. He actually had two evil twins at one point. One was created by Zurg, who like failed and actually made like a child version of an evil twin. And then there was an actual evil twin from another universe. And then there was his friend from school who turned evil, and all these like hot scientists. Like everyone had a crush on Buzz Like all of these girls would either throw themselves at him or he would be surprised when they didn't. Like he was pretty much a babe magnet, and the way he handled women was always hilarious. Oh Jesus, the show was fantastic. I'm gushing at this point, but I just adored this show. It was not only just so creative, as I've said, like the designs of these aliens and the planets and all that, and the episodes themselves, which could be really pretty brilliant. There was occasionally the fun stuff for adults to laugh at too. Like there was an episode where one of Buzz's companions winds up on this alien world that's like been cut off and everything, and it's kind of like the 1950s. Like it's hard to describe. It's like the 1950s of our world, except like they're all like little green aliens, and they're trying like to deny the existence of aliens, and they have their own Area 52, and it's a great homage to classic alien movies, like poking fun of itself. And then you have like jokes about politics, and you have jokes about robots. And XR actually got in some like little innuendos every now and then. Like I don't know how they got away with that kind of stuff. Jesus Christ. Ugh. I love this show. Apparently if I haven't made that clear enough. I don't know if it's coming out on DVD. I sincerely hope it has. I know at least I don't know if it was a 5-part or just 2-part or whatever pilot came out on DVD. If you can watch it, you should. And if it is on DVD, then you should watch as much as you can. If you can find it on YouTube, watch of it as much as you can. And I'm just remembering, even now, I'm remembering more and more characters that made me love this show so much. Like Nosferatu, who was a robot vampire. So when you wrote his name, you used numbers. Like no, and 0, and a 4, and oh my god, and he turned XR and other machines into vampires. It was creepy and awesome. And there was a werewolf, and there was a werewolf, and there were ghosts. And oh my god, I could talk about this thing for hours. But really, what you should do with your time is try and find the show and enjoy it for yourself. Because I've barely touched the surface on it, and there's so many names and stuff I'm forgetting. So you really should just stop listening to me and go find it for yourself. Because it's gonna be a fun ride. It's a fun sci-fi, occasional magic, occasional detective stuff. They have good mysteries. They have great plots. The writing is fantastic. The animation can be a little wonky sometimes, but this was like the 90s, so. And it was fantastic. I seriously recommend it if you like cartoons, because this is such a good cartoon. Oh god, I'm remembering so many episodes. They're all slamming into my head right now, and it's just making me so happy. I think I may have to stop this and go watch it as soon as possible. And I think you should join me. So let's go watch some To Infinity and Beyond.